Yamuna Tiravanachare Jaya Kunja Vihare Jaya Kunja Vihare Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihare Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhare Jaya Girivaradhare Yashodanandana Jaya Prajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Jaya Prajajanaranjana Yamuna Tiravanachare Jaya Girivaradhare Jaya Kunja Vihare Jaya Kunja Vihare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Yes Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Yes Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Madhava Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Vallabha Shri Radhe Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Jai Jai Gurudev, 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 Jai Gurudev. Jai Shri Radha Madhava ki jai. Grantara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Sarasvatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashta Prayesva Bhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Utamashloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishtiki. We continue reading from the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. This is the 10th canto, 1st chapter, text number 8. This is 9th canto. Rohinya stanaya prokto Rama Sankashanastvaya Devakya Garbha Sambandha Kuto Dehantaram Vina Rohinya stanaya prokto Rama Sankashanastvaya Devakya Garbha Sambandha Kuto Dehantaram Vina Rohinya stanaya prokto Rama Sankashanastvaya Devakya Garbha Sambandha Kuto Dehantaram Vina. Samkarsanastvaya Devakya Garbha Sambandha Mataji's. Rohinya of Rohini Devi, the mother of Baladev. Tanaya, the son. Prokta is well known. Ramaha, Balaram. Sankarsana, Balaram is none other than Sankarshan, the first deity in the quadruple group. Sankarshan, Aniruddha, Pradumna, and Vasudev. Tvaya, by you, it is so said. Devakya, of Devaki, the mother of Krishna. Garbha Sambandhana, Garbha Sambandha, connected with the womb. Kutaha, how? Deya Antaram, transferring bodies. Vina, without. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki. My dear Shukadev Goswami, you have already explained that Sankarshan, who belongs to the second quadruple, appeared as the son of Rohini named Balaram. If Balaram was not transferred from one body to another, how is it possible that he was first in the womb of Devaki and then in the womb of Rohini? Kindly explain this to me. Purport. Here is a question particularly directed at understanding Balaram, who is Sankarshan himself. Balaram is well known as the son of Rohini, yet it is also known that he was the son of Devaki. Parikshit Maharaj wanted to understand the mystery of Balaram's being the son of both Devaki and Rohini. Srila Prabhupada Ki. Homa Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripa tamaham vande Shigurum dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We are encountering the enthusiasm of Parikshit Maharaj, his eagerness to know. It is said when the questioner is eager, then the speaker also becomes enlivened to give the answers to those questions. Therefore, Parikshit Maharaj is addressing Shukadev Goswami, my dear Shukadev Goswami, acknowledging previous explanations. You've explained about Sankarshan, that he belongs to the quadruple forms. So we understand Krishna stu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Hridayante Yuge Yuge. So Krishna is the source of all incarnations. He is Swayam Bhagavan, the source of everything. Ishvara Parama Krishna, Sachidananda Vigraha, Anadir Adir Govinda, Sava Karna Karanam. He is the cause of all causes. People always try to ask these days, especially because of a rise in rebelling against religion and an understanding of God. And their logic is based on material consciousness, duality. They get stuck that, okay, you say the universe was created by someone, that nothing can exist without a creator. Then tell us who created God. And for that one, it's like they punch the air, like, phew, you cannot solve that one. However, the questioner, being affected by the limitations of the modes of nature, is unable to process something behind the creation, something above their pay grade. Like kids, they play TV games. Kids, you shouldn't play so many TV games. And there's levels in the games. So what you play in level 1, level 2, unlocks something that you will need on level 3, what to speak of, however many levels are there. And there are things you cannot do at one level without getting the necessary powers and codes for a higher level. So in this game of life, we are in this level where the three modes of material nature are limiting our ability to perceive deeper and greater reality. So what will be our fate? How are we to understand that which is beyond our perception? As was rightfully asked, how can the finite understand the infinite? Are we being sold a dream with spiritual life that we are to understand God and love Him? But then we have finite senses, and He is a Dokshaja, He's beyond the range of material senses. So until and unless the so-called infinite, if we are doubters, He cannot be infinite if He is unable to reveal Himself to the finite. If the unlimited cannot reveal Himself to the limited, then He's not unlimited. And for us, we understand that with limited or finite means, we cannot understand the unlimited person. So how is this solved? It's a process where knowledge is revealed from the Supreme Lord, and through his agents can we understand his position. Therefore, the vehicle of faith is needed. People will say, well, I'm not superstitious like that. I don't just believe in things when there's no evidence. However, we see that faith is practically what everyone is functioning on. You will not get into your car if you didn't have faith that it will be okay, it will not just explode. People would not be driving 110 kilometers an hour if they didn't have faith in the tires, that they will not just burst. So we have faith in many ways. We buy tickets 3 months, 4 months before taking that flight. That's faith. Some website, the e-dreams, could be a dream. May not be true. Momondo, or whatever it is you are using. And these days, precious credit card details. You put the CVV. Ooh. Faith. Then you just get some email that everything is in process, everything confirmed. And on that day, you will go to the airport expecting to take the flight. So, well, Maharaj, people have done that many times. So that's why we have faith. It's not blind. So people have realized Krishna throughout time. And therefore, as we accept testimony from limited beings about booking a flight, online paying, and the flight will be there, similarly, we are accepting testimony from realized souls. When Lord Brahma speaks, Govinda Maripusham Tamam Bhajami, that was his realization. And he is sharing that. Now, here we want to understand from Shukadev Goswami, who is a self-realized personality, about the position of Balaram. So we'll say, to conclude the God thing, if you cannot accept that he is the cause of all causes, then what can we do? He cannot be called the absolute truth if he is depending on some other truth. Absolute truth means he depends on no other energies except his own. Otherwise, why are we bothering with someone who is dependent on others? Yet, we are speaking here about Krishna, the son of Yashoda. Didn't you just say God is the cause of all causes? How now is he the son of some lady? Again, mind is blown. Then again we say, yes, my dear, if your mind is not blown by knowledge of Krishna or God, then you're not dealing with God. If you will just understand like ABC 1, 2, 3, then it's not worth your time. Absolute truth means that he's beyond all our stereotypes. Just when you think you understand, you find he's outside of your box. We hear of a dwarf brahmachari called Vamana. Oh God, and he's a dwarf? Ha, people will laugh. Even if I was God, I would never be a dwarf. Why? Because big ego. It would be so big, everyone should see I am God. He is known as Urukrama. He performs great activities. Dwarf. As soon as Bali underestimated who he was dealing with, then 1 step, 2 step takes the whole universe. And he still says, Baba, you promised 3. He wants to be known for giving charity. Okay, give charity then. You thought you had unlimited property. But in 2 steps, I've taken everything, so what you gonna give now? So without having this faith and having a submissive spirit to receive this knowledge, there is no one who can help us to rise to transcendence. We cannot have that experience except by submissive oral reception. Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada would often say, people like to say God is great. God is good all the time. So He is great, wonderful. But as soon as we discuss how great He really is, then they cannot accept it. So they say He's great, but they don't know how great He actually is. That He's the greatest of the greatest, He's the smallest of the smallest, He's all accommodating, all permeating. He's inside everything, He's outside everything. Short circuit. So with humble attitude, this same cause of all causes, we can get to learn how He accepts a position where He is subordinate to His own devotee. With a submissive heart and an enthusiastic heart, then one would ask, how? How does He accept such a position? Why does He accept such a position? Then we move from speculating, trying to extend our limited senses to understand. Then we come to hearing from those who understand the truth. Then we are now hearing here 2 subjects. The truth, tattva, of the existence of God. How does He exist? In what ways does He exist? And then we also get to understand why He does things. So the first point of the question is that how is it possible that He was first in the womb of Devaki and then in the womb of Rohini, if He was not transferred from one body to another? That would be our experience. If a child is in a womb and then we hear miraculously that actually that child in that person's womb is now being born from another womb. So we want to know which doctor, or is it a witch doctor that did this? And what was the process? How is it possible? It's a fair question. I hope we are also as eager as Parikshit to know the answer. Like, how is this possible? So it is explained by our Acharya's first point is that we have to understand that the Supreme Lord or His expansions, they do not take birth like we do. It is not a biological situation, a transference of tissue. It is, the Lord appears in the womb of Devaki. That means His divine presence, His manifest presence is there in the womb of Devaki. And therefore she takes on the countenance of a very auspicious, happy, pregnant lady. But it is not like us, where because of our karmic situation we are forced into a womb. So the Lord is appearing because He is impelled, obliged, pushed. Oh, well, we thought God is independent. What is pushing Him? He is being pushed by His mood of service. So Krishna expands first Balaram. And then from Lord Balaram expands the quadruple forms of Sankarshan, Aniruddha, Pradyumna, and Vasudeva. Then again, from Sankarshan, another set. So, Devaki, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, helps us to understand that her womb can be likened to our consciousness. That womb is the womb of devotion. Within our consciousness, devotion has to grow, sprout, develop. Ultimately, that bhakti has to fructify into prema, love of Krishna. So there are many people involved in this lila. So the Lord is appearing in the womb of Devaki also to manifest the leelas of the Lord, the pastimes of the Lord. You ever heard anyone say, I want to be the air that you breathe. I want to be the ground that you walk on. They sing these songs. They carry really like the mood, but it's a lie. Or it's at least directed at the wrong person. So many a conditioned soul have been fooled by some nice R&B or some nice Bollywood themed song, you know. And that makes more sense here. And that one lady, I used to think it's one lady singing all the songs in India. You know, that high-pitched style. I used to think, what an overworked lady, you know. But it's a style. You know? So she's singing very nicely, and you can feel the love, the attachment, the devotion. But it is directed to some man with a mustache who is struggling with digestion. However, the ear hears what it hears, and the mood comes through in the heart, because we are longing for that original love affair with Krishna. So mood, the mood is there. And people fall for this mood. So however, the original situation exists in the spiritual world. And therefore, Lord Balaram is actually the one who fulfills such a deep desire of love. He actually becomes the ground upon which Krishna walks. He enters this womb of Devaki, or his presence is there, and his plenary portion of Shesha becomes the bed there. They're anticipating Krishna will come into this womb. So we have to prepare the quarters. This is sometimes the pain that is offered now when we are traveling in Sannyas ashram. Previously as brahmachari, you just kind of came, nobody worried. Now devotees is like, how long is he coming? You know, where is he going to stay? Who's cleaning the room? You know, it becomes a whole worry, you know, how to arrange. So we can understand that when some guest is coming, especially a guest that you want to come, then lots of preparations. Guru Maharaj is coming to your home. How long do you take? When do you start preparing? The devotees mentioned when Prabhupada was coming, sometimes up to 8 months before, especially if there's temple opening that will happen, you know, everything is ramped up. Or he's visiting the temple 2 months before, repainting, sweeping, cleaning, decorating. This is the symptom of love. If you don't care who's coming, even your phone, you don't care to see if it's ringing or not. They'll find their way here anyway. But if there's affection, there's love, oh, you want to present the best for that person. So Balaram is Sevaka Bhagavan, his supreme personality of serving. He is presenting the topmost spirit of devotion. So he enters that womb to prepare. And especially preparing that womb, we hear that previously there were the 6 sons of Devaki that Kamsa killed. And we hear their history, that they were the sons, mental sons of Marichi. They represent the qualities of the senses, sense of touch, taste, smell, you know the rest, including the mind. And they were placed in that womb because of a curse-blessing situation. They offended Lord Brahma previously. So now this is our lesson to learn, that great personalities should not be taken for granted. Lord Brahma, part of the Leelas of the Lord, became bewildered, and in that bewilderment, he was desiring his own daughter. And so these sons were like, ha, look at Brahmaji, oh, he's in Maya, huh? They were laughing, not understanding that the great personalities are also being moved by divine will. They are part of the pastimes of the Lord. By their activities, we are meant to learn. So when we see that, we should not think ourselves better and smile. So then they were cursed. They took birth as the sons of Kalanemi, and their grandfather was Hiranyakashipu. Oh, Hiranyakashipu, he wants to be supreme controller. Now these 6 sons were quietly performing austerities, trying to become more powerful than him. So when he found out, you rascals, you're trying to become more powerful than me, he cursed them, that you will be killed by your own father. So Kalanemi in his next life is Kamsa. However, these sons are appearing in the womb of Devaki, and killed by their father means now Vasudeva is supposed to be their father. But Vasudeva is working with Kamsa in that to protect the children. He said, well, whenever they are born, you come to me, I will give them to you. So the father is helping. At the same time, Kalanemi has come as Kamsa, and he's the one ultimately killing them. So they were not of the highest order. They've been in the womb. So Balaram has come to clear that, because VIP guest is coming, Krishna. So he's not appearing because of biology, because of karma. He's appearing because of a service spirit. He has come to prepare. And now, how is he in the womb of Rohini? First of all, even that appearance in the womb of Devaki, we hear that Vasudeva, divine thought, thinking of a son, then appears in the consciousness of Devaki. So also it's not just underscoring the point of biology. In the womb of Rohini, Rohini is living in Gokul, a bit safe from the atrocities of Kamsa. And so someone may say, well, if he's plenary portion of the Lord, why is he afraid of Kamsa? Why does he need to be secured? But it is not because Balaram could not handle Kamsa. But now he has prepared the womb, Krishna must come there. And then he goes to Gokul, so that when Krishna, ultimately, who is also the son of Yashoda, appears, he will be ready there to serve. Therefore, he comes as an older brother. So these points are being made by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And then he gives an example of this movement from one womb to another. Like the sun in the sky is always present, but then sometimes it is reflected in a pot of water. And as the sun moves, we see that the reflection can move into a second pot of water. So it's not that the sun physically is entering these pots and then coming and going there, but by way of reflection, the sun becomes present in this one pot and then is present in another. So this is transcendental happenings. If someone cannot accept these, then sorry, access denied. It is said the Lord, just like we put our signs at our buildings, what do we say? When we are making sure that we are not liable for whatever happens to you when you enter our property. What's that sign? Okay, no trespass sign. The other one? Beware of dogs. Once it bites you, you said, we told you to beware. Yeah, it says, okay, trespassers will be persecuted. It's an indemnity. Enter at your own risk is another one. So yes, you have to be willing to risk your so-called rational thinking, your so-called educated, trained at university of such and such understanding, so-called PhD knowledge, which causes permanent head damage. This is the mercy of His Holiness Mahavishnu Swami. The PhDs, they become offended in the rascal. You didn't even finish high school. It's sour grapes. He couldn't get his own PhD. Now he's insulting us. However, this is there that when one becomes specialized in some aspect of material energy, it's very easy that the ego goes up thinking, oh, I know. But you're just studying a dot of this unlimited material energy. So when confronted with the unlimited environment of spiritual reality, we have to be humbled. We have to be humble. So it is said, Janma kama chame divyam evam yoveti tatotaham. Chaktva deham puna janma naiti mam eti swajuna. When one tries to understand these divine activities of the Lord, His appearance, that it's all divine, under yoga maya, then when one tries to do this, one becomes purified of the limited perceptions of material existence, and one does not take birth again in this material world. So it is win-win when we hear about Krishna. Balaram is also motivated in preparing for Krishna's pastimes. He's motivated to be a witness of these pastimes. And more than that, he's motivated for us to pick up the right attitude of approach to the Supreme Lord. That when we are not thinking how to please Krishna in each and every way, then we cannot approach the mood of prema. You see, prema means to give yourself fully to the beloved. It is almost a forgetfulness of one's own identity in the absorption of the other, the beloved's pleasure. When we say Krishna is the supreme enjoyer, our materialistic ear thinks of enjoyment in this world. And immediately we start to think of Krishna as, oh, just a big version of all my aspirations to enjoy. Oh, he's just sitting there and everybody's groveling at his feet, you know, giving him garlands and all the beautiful girls, he's enjoying them. I want to enjoy, he's enjoying so many. Why must I pray to such a God? You've never heard people say? Why should we pray to such a God who's enjoying girls? Hare Baba, he lifted Govardhan Hill. Start there if you want to have his facility. But we're making this point to say, misunderstanding prema. We don't understand that Krishna is not just trying to enjoy. Krishna himself has given himself fully to his devotees. Love means to give fully of yourself. Prema means self-giving, self-sacrificing. So Krishna himself is controlled by this love of his devotees. That is the predominating factor. So what happens if one gives themselves to someone else who loves them? Then that person becomes destabilized by that receiving. Oh, my beloved is wholeheartedly giving themselves to me. And then if they actually love, what will happen is that they will be motivated to give themselves again even more to you. Material existence is that lust mistaken for love. We give ourselves, everything. But this person doesn't love us. They cannot love because they simply want to gratify their senses. So they don't reciprocate by giving themselves fully. And then the innocence, because we are the soul, and we are acting on the sentiments of the soul just on the wrong platform, reposed on the wrong people. I gave myself, I gave everything. And what did they do? Stab me in the heart. Then, next time I will not give my full heart. The sentiment is there to be loved fully and to love fully. But we are reposing it on the wrong people who are not educated in love, neither purified to understand the spiritual principle that is love. So then next time you invest a little less, because last time I over-invested and I hit major losses. And when I was young, I was naive. Now, see my scars? I've learned. This is a business. You have to know how to. And then it becomes the law of diminishing returns. Because next time you're not going to invest. You are now like so-called wiser. You are calculating. And there is no love when there is no service which is giving without expecting return. So what we are aspiring for is what is being demonstrated by Lord Balaram. That although he's none different from Krishna, but his mood becomes guru for us. We learn that there can be God. He can just have his own life also, be an enjoyer. But no, he's showing us that to deal with me, this is the mood of access, devotion, unalloyed devotion. Therefore, he expands all the paraphernalia for Krishna's enjoyment. This is Lord Balaram. Even when he comes in the age of Kali, he comes as Lord Nityananda. And his heart is on full display. Who was the first person or persons that were delivered by Lord Nityananda? Those are the famous ones. Jagai and Madai. But they were not the first. The first, there was a Brahma Bandhu. Brahmana by name, but he was a professional thug, criminal, gunda, dacoit. He killed people, he robbed people, and he was the leader of a gang. They saw Lord Nityananda. He's always, so much jewels, earrings, pearls, silken cloth, opulent looking. So they thought, Goddess Chandi has blessed us. There's this Avadut. He always looks absent-minded. And he's got all these jewels. He told his friends, we have to rob this brother. And the Lord is super solely understood their motive. So he went to stay with one Brahmana who was known to be poor. And so they knew he's living in the house of Hiranya, and they came to camp to rob him in the night. However, first night, they were waiting, that the devotees are still chanting there, let's wait until they go to sleep. Then when they go to sleep, we'll raid the place, take all the jewels, we'll be set for life. As they were waiting, everyone fell asleep fully. Bang. They woke up even after the sun was up. They started accusing each other. Rascal, why did you fall asleep? But you also, you fell asleep. Then they said, okay, stop fighting amongst each other. Come back tomorrow. This is an easy job. They came back the next day. When they got there, they saw there were so many soldiers guarding the house, fully armed. And they were also all chanting the holy name. And they thought, what's going on? Someone said, well, I heard this avadut is not an ordinary avadut. He's known as Gosai. He cannot be self-controlled, this one. We've seen him chewing pan and betel nut. This must be some army general has come to visit him, and so he brought his army with him. Let's wait a few days. Once they leave, then we will come. They waited over 10 days. They came back again. When they came that day, they were simply blinded as they walked into the courtyard. Could not see. They were walking into thorns in that blindness, suffering, falling into ditches, being eaten by lychees. Some fell where they throw the refuse. Indra saw this. He thought, let me help. Thunderbolts were hitting, rains, they were cold. They struggled. What's going on? What's going on? They tried to run away, but they could not see. Then, from within the heart, again, the leader of the Dark Horde was inspired. This must be the Supreme Lord. Everything came back to him. First day, how could we sleep? We never sleep. All of us slept. It must be God. Then there were all these soldiers. Now we are being blinded. We cannot see. His heart changed. And he came to the Lord crying, how I am a sinner. I have done all these things. And of course the Lord showing that it does not matter really where we've been and what we've done. Because it's not on us. It's just the nature of the Lord that He's always merciful. He's always trying to deliver us. And that if such a gunda with such a rap sheet of crimes can approach, and the Lord accepted him, delivered him, gave him his garland. He was still crying, weeping, put his lotus feet on his head. And we hear, Nitai Pada Kamala, Koti Chandra Shushitala. The lotus feet of Lord Nityananda are as cooling as millions of moons. So this fire of material desires, this fire of disappointments in this material world, this fire of temporariness that we're going through, lies, backstabbings, overestimating our ability and then being crushed by the reality, oh, I couldn't do it. So much suffering is there, but let us bring this heart to the Lord. And when Lord Nityananda, Balaram is in our lives, then all these senses that are like biting us, demanding sense enjoyment, and corresponding anathas, lust, greed, envy, they become killed, cooled off. They chill out. And then we have a chance to cultivate spiritual life. So Lord Nityananda, Lord Balaram, he's appearing in the womb of Devaki, and he's being transferred, means his divine presence is transferred to the womb of Rohini, so that he can continue his service when Krishna appears in Gokul. Therefore we understand the Lord is not a material being, and his appearance is based on his desire to serve the Supreme Lord, and then he demonstrates the mellows of devotional service, the joy of devotional service, and he shows the extreme limit of the devotional spirit. And we study his life, then we can never think, oh, now I've become such a powerful devotee. You know, sometimes when you compare yourself to the people just around you, you may just think, oh yeah, I'm the best, yeah. And they just don't realize they're envious. However, when we study the character of the Lord, then even our so-called extending mercy by preaching, we cannot outdo the mercy of Lord Nityananda. He started with criminals, so we are also criminals. Yes, you accept? Others become offended. But if I started the class by saying, welcome all you criminals, Aniruddha Prabhu, get rid of this brother. Come here to offend us. So the devotees, we accept our fallen state and we seek the blessings of Guru and Adi Guru, Lord Balaram. And tomorrow we hear about his younger brother, the Supreme Lord Krishna. Yes. So, if you're interested, tune in online or come in person. We'll try tomorrow to hear about Lord Krishna. Krantaraj Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Shri Balaram ki jai, Gaur Premanande. Jai Prabhupada. Does anyone have any comment or question? Otherwise, the future is bright. There's prasadam upstairs. Okay, yes, our resident with the best quality questions ever is not here. So today, we are free to go to prasadam immediately. We do, okay.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
I'm starting with the last point that you mentioned, that we all are criminals. So my question is, how do we accept it with humility and approach right Guru? What makes us self-reflection on seeing ourselves as criminals and seeking the blessings of Guru?
Yeah, generally, our false pride won't allow us. Our false ego doesn't allow us to introspect deep enough to find the fault in ourselves. We tend to think, I've taken the trouble to take birth here, the world owes me certain things. And the society emphasizes on individual rights. So we're looking for our rights, we're looking for what we are owed. So there's that entitlement, that entitled awareness. It's only in this association of the devotees where the attitude is humility, that even the most qualified, in fact, the more the devotee is qualified, the more they are finding faults with themselves. So when the sun of Krishna has not arisen in the heart, then it remains dark there, and we are afraid and we think the danger is coming from outside. So as we are embarking on this journey and trying to purify our senses by contact with Krishna, then Krishna starts to humble us a little bit. We get to see, like you come here qualified in so many ways, and the devotees give you first service to, clean like bathroom or floor, And you think they don't know I'm like a qualified CA, what's going on here? So the training in the devotee circles is to emphasize that we are not just the servant of God, which we may think that was good enough, I've come to serve God. But no, we are supposed to be servant of the servant of the servant of the servants. So only when the heart is becoming purified do we get the capacity to own up that all that I think is mine actually belongs to Krishna. Manasa deho geho yo kichumo. Bhaktivedanta sings that everything belongs to you, son of Nanda. Myself, my wife, my kids, my assets, I offer them back to you. So there's no shortcut really, except taking up the process and becoming purified. Then we will accept. Yes, Prabhu.
So I want to come back to a comment you were making about university education. So anyone who's read Prabhupada's books will know that he mentions in multiple places, he talks about universities as the slaughterhouse.
Of intelligence. Yeah.
Right, and you've got these other comments like permanent head damage and so forth. Yet at the same time, you have, there's many occasions where Prabhupada actually encouraged his disciples to go on for a university education, and we also see that many devotees, including ISKCON gurus, even after becoming devotees, have gone on to get PhDs. And of course, you know, Bhaktivedanta Thakur and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati were highly educated people. So how do we get these 2 points together? They seem rather contradictory.
The first, education. We have two platforms, you could say. You know, there's apara and para. There's education on the spiritual, there's also education on the material. So if one has no spiritual education, Atma Tattva, Atma Gyan, doesn't know that they're the spirit soul, then they are under the influence of ignorance. They think they're that which they are not. So when we think we're this body or this mind, and we think this material world is the all in all, this is where I'll be happy. So all that education that we may get about the temporary world, as Bhaktivedanta Thakur simply makes an ass out of that jiva. Because then he becomes more and more enamored with this, or he gets qualified access through money to try and enjoy. So a devotee is a different category. Devotee is understanding that everything belongs to Krishna, I belong to Krishna. He understands the Devyesha of Gunamai. It's actually Krishna's divine energy. And under proper guidance understands that to perform one's duties in this world, one has to have the aptitudes. So one becomes skilled, gets a job, to maintain body and soul for the sake of service to Krishna. Therefore, it doesn't become like a jewel on the head of a serpent that's a materialist. Serpent, because dangerous, the senses are creating problems for that conditioned soul, but then becomes decorated with so-called education. Oh, there's a snake. People generally say, get away from a snake. Oh, no, but this snake has a diamond on its head. Oh, that's a dangerous snake because everyone wants diamonds. They start coming closer, he will bite. So we're being bitten by all these serpents-like individuals selling us the diamond of, it's moissanite, it's not really a real diamond, it's fake. So for the devotee, they can, as we say, utility is the principle. They can use anything in the service of Krishna. And so, especially as a preaching movement, the whole world is desirous of wealth, beauty, education, everything that glitters. So Srila Prabhupada had said, we could be happy under a tree chanting Hare Krishna. But we're building all these beautiful big temples because the people are attracted by these things. So the devotees also, they get the education, then they become bona fide in the eyes of those who value such things. Because they think, he was able to get the same thing I'm going after, and he's got this also spiritual. Sometimes it happens that then the devotees, we start to think, that is the best quality about the devotee. So we are listing the material attributes of the devotee. He owns this, he studied this, and we think that that is the ornament of that devotee, that his IIT, his PhDs. No. When it comes to devotion, it is the surrender of a devotee. And that can be done by anyone without any material qualifications. Like that, we speak these things because the scripture is helping us to lower the fever. Because it's very easy for us, tatasta, to go to the extreme. Then we may just dive in trying to get these temporary ornamentations, thinking they actually count in our devotion. But we can definitely say without any reservation that the universities and all of you that have gone can be very dangerous for the Bhakti Lata, because there's a whole mood there, and that focus is one there. That's why during that danger of university, then the devotees are there to preach. Then we get qualified students, but who are protected by their spiritual practice. So it's not just we're being hateful or criticizing, it's protection. Let's not think that that diamond on the serpent is all in all. It's still a serpent, it can bite you. Yeah. So after this, please go get your PhDs. And if you cannot, we are also offering PhD in devotional service. That means come and do your service. Give yourself fully in your service. And that becomes the topmost qualification of a devotee, full surrender. Hare Krishna. Okay, thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaura Premanande. Hari Bol. Yeah, when you do the PhD, you'll come back and say, so much pressure. I have no time. All this research. Maharaj.